Right now, we're talking about tools for cultivating happiness, and I'm speaking to AmyK, who helps executives be brilliant in business and happy in life. Welcome to Happiness Adventure. I'm Lisa, and together we'll explore ways to cultivate real joy in our lives. So what is your definition of happiness?
One of the best definitions that I came across is not my own. It comes from a gentleman named Tal Ben-Shahar. And he has a very popular book out there called Happier. And he defines happiness as both pleasure and purpose at the same time. So simultaneously, you feel significant. You have meaning in the world. There's purpose in what it is that you're doing, but it's also a joy. So one of the things that I look at it is if you feel like you're of service to somebody else, that's going to bring you happiness when you're actually outside of yourself. So think about that, the intersection of pleasure and purpose. When you stand right in the middle of it, you are at your most content.
And when you think about people who may not be as happy as they want to be, what advice would you give or what pointers would you give in order to move from that unhappiness to a place where they're happier? What can they do to cultivate happiness? There's
a lot of confluences on what can make somebody unhappy. But I think one of the coolest things that sort of opened my eyes about business strategy and consulting and coaching and kind of that inner work of self-awareness is the idea that the opposite of happiness is not sadness. The opposite of happiness is mild depression. And mild depression, not clinical depression, but mild depression is lack of hope for a compelling future. Wow. So you're either stuck, or you're feeling resistance, or there's a lack of clarity. And so that means that we have to go internal. We have to find out what's going on with what I call, and I borrow this term from a woman who's very famous, Martha Beck. She coined the phrase, your essential self. And she describes the essential self as this internal compass, this internal knowing, the way that you came into the world. You came in spontaneous, and you came in playful, and you came in curious, and then life kind of beats you down. And you develop the social self. I stand in line, I share my toys, I take my turn, I do what I'm told. And it kind of shapes you. And what's really cool is that if you have your essential self and your social self really aligned, there's pleasure and purpose. You're achieving in the world, you're surviving in the world, but you're enjoying it because it's still your essential self. When they bifurcate, that's what causes problems. So if my essential self is stifled because I'm a people pleaser, or my essential self is stifled because I'm trying too hard to survive, but it's not who I am at my core, then we get this dissonance. And that dissonance causes us angst and anxiety and stress and all kinds of disorders and rebellious behavior. And really, we become mildly depressed. And so what we have to do, the first thing you have to do is you have to get yourself back to your essential self. What brings you joy? What makes you smile? What's important to you? Do you have clarity on your priorities? Do you have clarity on who you need to get connected with? Do you need to put up some boundaries? Do you need to make a request of somebody? Do you need to offer something to somebody else? So these are all these really cool questions to say, okay, let's stop and let's figure out what's going internally. Wow, it sounds like that's really reflective work and probably something that would be done well with journaling. What other tools would you recommend for that kind of reflection? I think that the core is self-awareness. It's the biggest differentiator between good leaders and great leaders, between happy people and it's fine people. Self-awareness means that you understand your own triggers. That's journaling. That is self-reflection. It's also taking the opportunity to stop and look at the world and say, I don't really have to react. I can respond. And if I respond, then that means I have to be a witness to myself. I'm not my thoughts, I'm not my stories, I'm not my beliefs, I'm bigger than that. And so you have to pull back and be the witness. And that clarity allows us to move forward. And a lot of that is clarity and understanding of who we are and what makes us tick and what our triggers are and why we're responding to people. If the viewers have one single question that they could ask to get them going on the happiness journey, what would that be? I would start with, where am I feeling disconnected? Am I feeling disconnected professionally? Am I feeling disconnected personally? Am I feeling disconnected to my spiritual self? Am I feeling disconnected mentally and I'm not intellectually stimulated enough? Am I feeling disconnected with my friends or a significant other or a spouse? And then saying, okay, what's causing that? Where is that disconnection coming? What do I need? Do I need to request something? Do I need to offer something? And then the second question, just because it's a bonus, what is triggering me? Instead of reacting, just take a deep breath and go ask yourself, okay, what am I triggered? Did a boundary just get broken? Does a boundary need to be restored? And sometimes we realize that our anger doesn't come out of anger. It's because I feel disrespected. It's because I feel like somebody took advantage of me, or I feel like somebody didn't validate my beliefs. But until we get that clarity and that insight, we just walk around cranky. We walk around miserable. But as soon as we're like, oh, well, this is what's going on, and here's what I need to do to restore that boundary, we're right back aligned with our essential self.
So a lot of checking in with ourselves is what I'm hearing. Well, I've been speaking to AmyK about how we can increase our happiness, and AmyK has tons of resources on her website that are available for free, incredible content, and I'm going to have the links to all of her resources in the description box right below this video. The Happiness Adventure is all about exploring the many ways we can cultivate happiness in our lives. So to feed your happy with a bite-sized video every week, please subscribe, and then I look forward to seeing you soon for a brand new adventure.